to another Catalyst Conversation for a Relationship Revolution, where we challenge the unquestioned assumptions about love, flip the script on what you've been taught, and reveal truths no one's told you. Here, we unlock a whole new paradigm of relationship, and one that anchors us in consciousness, empowerment, and accountability, and results in the kind of relationship that most people only dream of. Today, we're unpacking the myth that the truth matters. And that the idea that if we could just figure out what really happened, what was actually said, or who was technically right, then our argument would be over. But what if this obsession with like the objective truth is actually keeping your relationship in defensiveness, disconnection, and endless conflict? Because it is. As always, this conversation might challenge you. I hope it does. It might make you uncomfortable. And if it does, that's okay. And it might just set you free. So, before we get in, I want to introduce myself, and I need to hit a button on my Facebook Live thing before I forget to see if it actually works over here. Okay. All right. It looks like I'm live on Facebook too. Excellent. Okay, so let me introduce myself, friends, because if this is new to you, then I want to know who you are learning from, or I want you to know who you're learning from, because I believe that who you learn from matters. So my name is Dr. Jenny Wallig. I am a relationship expert with a master's and PhD in couple and family therapy. I'm an award-winning relationship mentor, speaker, author, and educator. I am also a disruptor. I am determined to make the world a better place through more conscious and evolved relationships. Alongside my partner and soulmate, Calvin O'Seely, I am the co-founder of Powerful Love Relationships and the co-creator of the 3-pillar Powerful Love Method, a proven path for saving, healing, and improving your relationship, even if your partner isn't doing the work. I've created these catalyst conversations and really everything we do at Powerful Love, not just to teach people how to do relationships better, but really to redefine how relationships work. How to empower you, fellow visionary, to create a relationship that really fills your heart and fuels your dreams. So, are you ready for today's conversation? Let's get into it. The myth that the truth matters, I'm covering this one today because I truly see it all the time in my work with couples. Two people locked in this battle over who's right, what really happened. And in full transparency, Cal and I get into that kind of conflict as well. No, you're wrong. This isn't what I said. You're twisting my words. That's not actually how it happened. No, actually what happened was this. And when we get so bogged down in the details, the conversation like stays stuck in this gridlock because honestly, it's impossible to know what really happened. And our brains and our memories are so strange that like you can be 100% unquestionably, positively certain that an event unfolded in a particular way, and your partner can be just as certain. And unless you have some recording of what actually happened, you're not going to arrive at the capital T truth, the objective truth. And more importantly than like the fact that this is an impossible task anyways, it doesn't actually work. Even if you can like come to this place where you both, like agree on what actually happened, it doesn't matter. In fact, the more that we focus on what the truth was, the more that we stay stuck in disconnection because the truth isn't what connects us. And when we're in a conflict or an argument, not only do we want a resolution, the goal is to try to move through that conflict and argument from a place of connection. When we're disconnected, you can't have a difficult conversation because you move into self-protection. The experience of disconnect in our relationship is actually really painful and really scary to our nervous systems. And so if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling at odds, like opponents, like you're in opposition, me versus you in this conversation, I promise you, you are not going to, no matter how clear you are on the truth, you are not going to arrive at the destination that you truly desire, which is a resolution, which is connection, which is understanding, which is like having a partnership that feels good and coming back into harmony with one another. So here's what is really important to understand about this. I have a couple of points I want to name here. First, there actually is no single truth, right? Like you can have a camera record what happened and you can say that, well, that is the objective truth. But when we're talking about people and relationships, all of our experiences are filtered through our own personal lenses. Okay, so regardless of the objective truth, it's it's like our subjective memory of it, experience of it, the meaning that we make about it, that is our experience of what happened. And that is what matters, which is my second point, right? That it's the objective truth does not matter so much as it does your partner's experience. Your experience, of course, matters too. But honestly, the best way to get your partner to care about your experience is to care about their experience first. You may not have intended for your partner to have the experience that they had. You may not have realized that they were going to have that experience. You may not have meant it at all that way. And you may not even agree. It might seem ridiculous to you that the experience they're sharing that they had is the one that they had. And who fucking cares? Really? Because whether you agree or not, whether you meant it or not, that was their experience. And while I know that there's some part of you that wants to like correct their experience, that if they had the real information, if they understood where you were really coming from, what you really meant to say, what if they remembered what actually happened, maybe they wouldn't hold the experience, the memory, the perception that they do. And that's all well and good. And I totally get that. Yet the best way, the only way that really works to get them to even be open to receiving corrective information about their experience is to validate and acknowledge the experience they're telling you that they have in the first place. That is the way. Make the experience they're sharing now the one that matters to you. And you're going to have a much more open door to helping to reshape the memory of that experience with new information. I don't know. This is just how human psychology works. And the fact that people don't understand this creates so much conflict in their relationship because we push and we push and we push for what really happened or to get our partner to internalize or agree to the story that or the memory or the experience that we want them to have of what happened. Really, it comes down to caring about the fact that they're hurting, caring about the fact that they didn't have a good experience or that they felt something that wasn't good, right? That wasn't helpful. So that's point number two, right? So truth number one we need to pay attention to here is that there is no real um, truth, capital T, truth for people because it's all experienced through our lenses, our filters, our histories, our traumas, right? Capital T, or capital truth number two, the next thing you need to understand is that it's your partner's experience that really matters. Here's another thing. Point number three, I want you to get. When you're focused on accuracy over empathy, you're killing connection. Empathy, resonance, attunement, care, and concern. This is what we are all looking for in our relationships, right? In any conversation, especially the ones that get heated, that are activating for us. Those are the ones where our empathy and attunement really counts. And so focus there. How can you attune? How can you connect to care energy? How can you listen to the impact that your partner is trying to share with you? If you're defending your perspective or your reality, you're not attuned and you're missing what your partner needs. So, empathy over accuracy, my friends. Okay, and then point number four, Where are my notes? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Yes. So healing happens when we validate impact, not debate facts, right? Healing happens when we validate impact. This is crucial, by the way, in any kind of social justice, critical consciousness work. If you are a disruptor like me who wants to um, ally with and co-conspire with marginalized communities, we have to understand that our intention doesn't fucking matter. The impact that we have, that's what matters. That's what we need to care about. And it's no different in our relationships. It's especially important in our relationships. Well, our social justice work is relationships too, but I won't go down that path anymore. Um, when you care about the impact, the effect that you had, regardless of your intention, you create healing. And you honestly, you build trust. Our relationships get stronger this way because then we teach our partner, we train their nervous system to learn and to believe that even if we did hurt them or do something that caused pain for them, we probably didn't mean it. And that we will care if they name that this injury occurred. And so it actually sets you up for success in being able to have more wiggle room, have more grace, have more trust in your relationship, just by giving a shit about the impact that you had, whether you meant it or not, whether or not you agree, whether or not you think it was really true or fair that they're having this experience. None of that matters in your relationship, love. What matters is how your partner feels, the same way that what matters is how you feel. And here's a bonus truth. If you're not happy with the love that you're getting, take a look at the love that you're giving. Let me try that again. If you're not happy with the love that you're getting, take a look at the love that you're giving. Sometimes, often, the fastest and best way to get more and better love for ourselves is to give more and better love first to our partners. So, special bonus for you. Okay, so let's talk about why this is so important. When you stop fighting to win the fight and you start having these difficult conversations, these heated conversation with the intention of connecting, your entire relationship will shift. You stop keeping score and you start staying present. You stop relying on the past to justify your experience and replaying it, which brings it into the present. You start building trust and making the present and the future a hell of a lot easier. This, like learning how to prioritize connection and attunement and acknowledgement and validation in our relationship in general is how we build a relationship that fuels us, that heals us, that expands freaking everything. And it's revolutionary, guys, because most people don't know how to do this. We all want to be cared about, right? And so typically what happens is we're fighting to just get our partner to care about us. And we're not remembering that the fastest way for that to happen is to give that care first, because your partner's probably having experience very similar to yours, even if their story is totally different. Like they're hurting too. Their nervous system is freaked out too. They might respond in a really different way, but how they're reacting or acting or their feelings, they are just as valid as yours. Someone's got to take the lead. And it's a lot easier to step into that personal power and leadership yourself than it is to try to convince your partner to do it. Because when someone's trying to convince you that like you need to fix this, you're the problem, defenses go up, right? Nobody likes that. So if you are part of the Relationship Revolution community, remember that you are going to have a weekly activation prompt dropping very soon. This is going to help you reflect on the role that this myth has played in your relationship and guide you in practicing implementing this shift in real time. Because these conversations that we're having here, they're all well and good to like have awareness of, but we need to go beyond just knowing these truths. We need to learn how to live them. That's how you truly revolutionize your relationship. If you are not a member of the Relationship Revolution community membership yet, this is your time to jump in. The Relationship Revolution is a monthly membership community for visionary humans like yourself who understand that the old rules of relationship don't work and they're ready to learn some new ones and create something truly extraordinary. Every month, we do a live 60-minute coaching call. You get weekly integration prompts after these videos, private community space, um, behind the scenes looks at how Calvin and I apply the things that we're teaching here, plus full access to my 6 video course, Revolutionize. All of this for just $97 a month right now because you're joining as a founding member. I have a link to the Relationship Revolution um, information page, which also contains a link for you to sign up and join. There's no application for this one. We just want you in and learning and growing and revolutionizing your love. Remember, you don't need to be right to be powerful, my friend, and you don't need to improve. You don't need to improve. We always need to improve. You don't need to prove anything to create healing. When love becomes more important than being right, everything begins to shift. So I will see you next time for another Catalyst conversation live at 12:30 Pacific on Fridays. Until then, keep leading with love and changing the world.